MMA free weekly column for the week beginning January 11th, 2021. Review and preview. The U.S. economy shed 140,000 jobs in December, the first decline in 7 months as a new surge in COVID-19 cases nationwide triggered a fresh wave of shutdowns, reversing the labor market's recovery. The unemployment rate held steady at 6.7%. Economists surveyed expected the report to show that unemployment edged higher to 6.8%, and the economy added 71,000 jobs. Megan Henney, U.S. economy slashes 140,000 jobs in December, foxbusiness.com, January 8th, 2021. We signed up for making America great again. We signed up for lower taxes and less regulation. The president has a long list of successes that we can be proud of, but all that went away yesterday. Mick Mulvaney, one-time Trump chief of staff, Amanda Masis, I can't stay here. Mick Mulvaney resigns from Trump administration, January 7th, 2021. We said it before and we will say it again. No one escapes a hard Pluto trip unscathed. Even the President of the United States, considered by some to be the greatest political escape artist ever. No more. This past week, he crossed a line that he cannot retract, for which he will not likely be forgiven by Americans or populations throughout the world, and for which he will not likely be treated well by historians. He has severely damaged his legacy, Pluto and Capricorn, opposite his natal Saturn. Not to mention the disillusion and disappointment he has wrought on his supporters who had placed their faith and trust in him, Neptune squaring his sun and moon. It is utterly stunning. It is also reflective of Jupiter and Saturn, both square to Uranus in today's sky. The midpoint is January 2021. We are here. However, there are positive implications here as well, in both the mundane and cosmic realms. The Constitution of the United States is held up, Saturn and Libra, preserving the democratic principles of the republic for which it was created. These recent events also affirm that part of the founding of the United States was built to last, to withstand the types of fierce forces that would seek to undermine this nation during a time in which hard transitioning aspects this chart are congruent with efforts to undermine it, which could be underway, 2020 through 2023. This is what a Pluto return to a nation's chart begins to look like. It may not be over. Despite the irritation last week incited by the president himself and carried out by extremists who do not represent the values of most supporters and who do not support Rudy Giuliani's, Trump's own lawyer, misguided advice to protesters to conduct a trial by combat, the stock markets of the United States and several other nations soared to a new multi-year or all-time highs. It is actually quite remarkable in lieu of the political instability unfolding. But equity markets are forward-looking, and investors believe these events will be short-lived. But will they be short-lived? And how long could this explosion to new highs in global equity indices last? Given that the incoming Biden administration plans on enacting further stimulus packages, it could last quite a while, perhaps until the same administration's plans to raise taxes start chipping away at corporate profits and eventually lead to a slowdown in consumer spending and an increase in unemployment. It could also reverse much sooner, as powerful Uranus transits come into play in the next 2 weeks. In other markets, Bitcoin has now exceeded 40,000, a correlate to Uranus Taurus about to be squared by Jupiter in Aquarius. Gold shot up to new multi-week high, testing 1960, and silver to a new 4-month high as it tested 28, both on January 6th as Mars rolled into Taurus. However, both got hit hard on Friday, with silver falling over 2.6, nearly 10%, and gold over 80. Surprising reversals such as these large, unexpected price moves are also characteristics of Uranus coming into an orb of influence. Short-term geocosmics. Another reason why the global equity markets might counter resistance shortly is because Mars left its ruling sign of Aries for the next sign of Taurus on January 6th, where it will be stationed until March 4th. As stated last week, Mars is in the ruling sign of Aries has been very bullish for world stock markets. It started June 28, 2020, which coincided with the primary cycle low of 24,971 in the Dow Jones. It reached a new all-time high of 31,193 on Thursday, January 7th. But the big fireworks, at least in the cosmic realm, is about to begin this week and will last through the end of the month. This will include Uranus turning direct, Jupiter square Uranus, Mars conjunct Uranus, and square Jupiter. The Sun conjunct Jupiter and Saturn and both square to Uranus. Historically, hard aspects involving Mars, action, Jupiter, exaggeration, and Uranus, violation of anything expected like support or resistance, have correlated with large price moves in financial markets. It can be a period of euphoria or hysteria, excitement or panic. It is arguably the potent geocosmic of 2020. Brace yourself. Be an opportunity for a trader's ultimate max profits with market exposure. It can also be traders or investors' greatest fear, maximum risk leading to unexpected losses due to or unreadiness to react fast enough to sudden events. Longer-term thoughts. In conscious summary, the leader of the executive branch invited a crowd to march on the legislative branch. The goal was to demand Congress and Vice President Mike Pence reject electors from enough states to deny Mr. Biden an electoral college victory. On the constitutional process of transfer powers after an election. This goes beyond merely refusing to coincide defeat. In our view, it crosses a constitution that Mr. Trump has crossed. It is impeachable. Donald Trump's final days, Wall Street Journal opinion page, 8, 2020. If Mr. Trump didn't find prevail in the world to actually live in, the blame starts with him. The act was central to his appeal, but that hardly required coming up short on political calculation, discipline, and patience. Mr. Trump plays checkers. The game is chess. His slim loss in the Electoral College should rattle. All right, because it shows how different the outcome might have been if he had done a few things differently, including listening to advice. Holman W. Jenkins, Jr., Trump threw it away, Wall Street Journal, January 6, 2021. Checkmate, crossing the line. These are very images related to grand conjunctions in 2020 and the Saturn-Uranus wanted square of 2021 as outlined in the Forecast 2020 and 2021 books. Both portrayals were in full evidence in last week's storming of the US Capitol by extremist supporters and believers of President Trump's unproven allegation that the election had been stolen from him, as he and they set about to steal the election from Joe Biden. In the end, the president's ulterior motives and his crossing of the line were checkmated by the process outlined in the Constitution of the United States. There is no need to reiterate the geocosmic correlation to these events, as they have been covered in great deal in several of these columns and the last 3 years of the annual forecast book. If you are interested in how the study of geocosmic signatures foretold the events of the past week and even past 2 months, as well as the next few months to come, you may wish to view a recent interview conducted on December 21st, 2020 that addresses these very issues under our website under events and articles. It was an ugly week and it could have a negative impact on worldwide equity markets sooner rather than later, given that the most highly charged outer planet configuration for this year's are taking place in January. Please use these current Uranus aspects as sources for inspiration and innovation. That is the positive correspondence of Uranus to personal behavior and attitude. As far as markets are concerned, it tends to correspond with sudden reversals and volatility. It is not conducive to short-term trading unless we are talking possibly about day trading. Holding a position overnight, whether market or autumnal, may be hazardous to one's psychological well-being. Be nimble, flexible, and open-minded, and avoid attaching yourself to any position that is turning against you. Once again, we share this mantra from the Calm app with everyone. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you be at peace. Announcements. Note 1, the first issue of the MMA Monthly Cycles Report will be released this week on Tuesday. With the stock market making new all-time highs, this is a very important time for financial markets. Every issue provides MMA's intermediate term outlook for the US stock market, gold and silver, treasuries, euro currency, crude oil, and soybeans. Each issue also contains MMA's original geocosmic reversal dates and solar lunar reversal dates over the next several weeks for Dow Jones, gold, and silver, complete with trading strategies for position traders during the next month. If you are not a subscriber to the monthly MMA Cycles Report and wish a copy of our outlook, consider trying the January issue for just $35. Note 2, Merriman Market Timing Academy, MMTA, is now filled. There are no openings left as we begin the 2-year program starting this weekend, January 16th, 2021. The next 2-year course will be offered in 2 years. If you're interested in being placed on a waiting list, please send us an email and we'll let you know in early March if we have any spots for the program moving forward. Note 3, February 14th, 2021, that will be our MMA's Forecast 2021 webinar. It'll take place at 2 p.m. Eastern. And in the comfort of your own home, you can tune into Raymond Merriman's annual forecast webinar. This broadcast will address subjects from this year's Forecast 2021 book with updates on financial markets since the book was written in November 2020. The focus will be on the Saturn-Uranus squares of 2021 and the relationship to national and international politics, economy, and financial markets, including the US stock market, gold, silver, crude oil, Bitcoin, the euro, and US dollar currency. Under Saturn-Uranus, things do not usually go as expected. It's shaping up to be the year of the contrarian. The cost is $55 and includes slides of the presentation, plus access to the video recording of the event. If you're unable to attend the live event, you can still sign up, as everyone who orders the webinar will receive the video recordings following the live event. For more, go to our website, shop, webinars, and forecast 2021 webinar. Finally, note 4, the print edition of the Forecast 2021 book is out now. The ebook version has been out for weeks already. So if you wanted to order this year's book and if you wanted a print copy, do so right away. We only have a few boxes left of the print forecast book, and every year we run out. So if you wanted to go ahead and order it, take advantage of doing it now. Once they sell out, you will not be able to get a copy from us. You might be able to buy a used copy from someone else on Amazon or eBay, but usually those are triple the price. So go ahead and order the book now before it completely sells out for good. Few events coming up. The first one, as we already mentioned, January 16th. Now that's going to be the first day of MMTA starting. That's our first course of the 2-year program. Again, right now we're completely sold out, but if you wanted to be put on a wait list, we already have a pretty lengthy wait list going, but send us an email and we'll let you know in early March if any openings are available before course 2 starts in April. And again, February 14th, mark your calendars. As we mentioned before, that's going to be the date of our annual forecast webinar. And we're really looking forward to that. Again, that's $55, and that's going to be next month. All right, enjoy the rest of your week.